Hey guys, Kristen here with Herbalife. I just wanted to see if we can whip out another recipe. I don't know if I have everything in here, so we'll just wing it and see how it goes. But I know that we have lots of requests for like bread. Oh my gosh, I need carbs. So I came up with this recipe and it's for vegetable pizza. It can also be for regular pizza. All you have to do is put pizza sauce in your toppings on. So let's whip this up and see how it goes. I'll try to pause it while I'm baking it and then bring it back and show you the final product. So what I have in my blender so far, because I didn't really think about recording it, is 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. So this is the kind I used, old-fashioned oats, no big deal. 1 cup of oats. I used 1/4 of a cup of our Herbalife personalized protein powder, which is unflavored pure protein. 1 tablespoon gives us 5 grams of protein, so that's super phenomenal. So just think what 1/4 of a cup will do for us. 3/4 of a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and then 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese. I use fat-free or 1%, so there's 3/4 of a cup of that as well. So then when we're done with that, I add 5 eggs. You are welcome to use like 3 eggs, 3 egg whites. It's totally fine, whatever works for you. But I, for simplicity reasons, am just using 5 eggs. We love eggs in our house. So that's what I'm gonna do there. And then after 5 eggs, this is where I add a couple of my tweaky ingredients that I add good flavor to. I add a teaspoon of butter extract. So I'm not using real butter. I haven't used real butter in 3 years, but when I want something to have that butter flavor, I use butter extract, and it's a teaspoon of butter extract. Fortunately, I can eyeball it. So if you can't, it's about a teaspoon there. And then we want our crust to rise a little bit, and so I'm going to use 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. About that much. So baking powder is the little secret ingredient there. I always add soup mix to everything I do. I think it's pretty fun. It adds great flavor. So I'm using 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon, but I actually put a teaspoon in there, so 2 scoops of that. And then a little bit of olive oil. This is going to get it so we get a crust that's a little bit flaky and it doesn't stick to the pan. So just a tablespoon of olive oil. I either use butter flavored olive oil that I get from a local company, or I use Bragg is the brand, organic olive oil. So that's what I do for that. I am going to blend this up so it's going to be noisy. Actually, I'll pause it. I'll be right back when I'm done mixing. Okay, so I'm just finishing up blending this. Perfect. And this recipe makes like 2 9x13 pans. So instead of using 2 9x13 pans today, I'm just going to use 3 smaller pans. And it's pretty thin. I don't want it too thick, like maybe 1/2 inch, not like a cake mix or anything like that. You just want to basically cover the bottom. Perfect. I will hold it up and show you. Oh, you can see in there. All right, see about 1/2 inch, something like that. So the reason I have 3 is I'm gonna make 1 small vegetable pizza. I'm gonna make 1 small pizza crust, and then I'm gonna make some amazing garlic breadsticks out of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it in the oven at 375, and I'm going to bake it for about 12 minutes. After that, I'm actually gonna rotate the pan because we wanna make sure that it cooks evenly all the way around. And then when you rotate it, I would reduce the heat in your oven to 350. We wanna finish cooking it through the middle, and we don't wanna burn the outsides. So we're gonna leave our pans in there. We're gonna turn the heat down to 350 and then bake another 15 minutes or so. So sometimes some ovens are a little hotter. You can cook it, you know, like 3 or 4 minutes less, so you could check it. I would say it's going to take about 12 minutes for the first round, switch them around, and about 15 minutes the second time. It may take a couple minutes longer than that even. So what you're going to do to make your vegetable pizza, the topping is simply the plain non-fat Greek yogurt, dry Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning mix, and our Herbalife soup mix. Mix those three together, spread that on, and then crumble all your veggies on top. Broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, turkey bacon bits, all that kind of stuff. To make pizza, you're going to take it out of the oven. You're going to put on your tomato sauce or whatever your pizza sauce. Then you're going to put, goat cheese, mozzarella cheese, whatever kind of cheese you want, tomatoes, mushrooms, green peppers, load it up, whatever. Put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes to get all hot and bubbly. It's going to be amazing. And the breadsticks, you're going to take those out. What I typically do is I spray it with a butter spray, and then I put Parmesan cheese on it. And I spread a little bit of minced garlic on there as well. And then I put it back in the oven for a few minutes so it gets like that garlic Parmesan taste on it. So I wish you the best. I'm going to try to pause this, throw these in the oven, come back and show you what they look like when we're done. So here goes nothing. Okay, so I'm back. I just took this out of the oven and I want to show you what it looks like. This one is kind of able to touch. So it's brown, crusty. This one's still really hot, so let me just... So it had like a big bubble on it, and I had to pop it. So it's all firm. And then this pan over here. Let me fix this here for a second. This pan over here is garlic breadsticks. So I went ahead and showed you an example because I know that's a big deal for a lot of you. So the pan turned out like this. Delicious. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd be able to smell it right now, and it's incredible. Okay, so let me see. I just cut one piece out. So here's what a piece looks like. It's crispy. It's not flimsy at all. It's just like pizza crust. I made it a cheesy garlic breadstick. So I just spread on a little bit of minced garlic, a tiny bit of spray butter, and then I sprinkled some fresh Parmesan cheese on top and stuck it back in the oven for about 4 minutes. And it is absolutely delicious. So if you want to see more recipes, I am definitely willing to do more. I'm going to start sharing my knowledge with the world. And so give me a thumbs up if you like the recipe and you'd like me to share more. If you have any questions, you can email me. And once again, my recipe for this, get a notepad and pen real quick. My recipe for this was 1 cup of old-fashioned oats, 1/4 cup of the Herbalife personalized protein powder, 3/4 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I also used 3/4 cup of non-fat cottage cheese, 5 eggs, a teaspoon of butter extract, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of butter flavor olive oil, or I use also the brand Bragg, B-R-A-G-G. I use that organic olive oil as well. You're going to bake it at 375 for 12 minutes. You're going to turn them around in the oven, and then you're going to bake them an additional 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Voila, here's what you get. Enjoy.